Right from the very early days of this pandemic, economists began talking about a she session. Jobs often done by women were high on the list of those lost to lockdowns, just as many others deemed essential were those done by women. With us now to find out about their lives, a year and counting into this pandemic, let's welcome, in Shelburne, Ontario, that's in Dufferin County, Kalisha Hoyes, a grocery store manager in Mississauga. In Durham Region, Birgit Umaigba, an intensive care unit nurse who also teaches nursing at Centennial College. And in the east end of the provincial capital, Amanda Monday, owner-operator of The Workaround, a professional workspace with childcare on the premises. And also in the city's east end, there's journalist Lauren McKeon, whose latest book is Women of the Pandemic, Stories from the Front Lines of COVID-19. And we are delighted to welcome all of you onto TVO tonight for a really important and timely discussion. And I want to kick it off just by reading an excerpt from Lauren's book to get us into our conversation. So Sheldon, if you would, let's bring this graphic up and away we go. The story of the pandemic was the story of women. In Canada, women comprise 81% of healthcare workers. Notably, they make up the vast majority of nurses, social workers, and personal support workers, PSWs. Beyond the healthcare front line, the New York Times estimated that 1 in 3 jobs held by women have been designated as essential during nationwide shutdowns, and that racialized women specifically held more essential jobs than anybody else. Throughout the pandemic, these women were tasked with keeping our bodies and minds healthy, with keeping us fed, with keeping our hospitals and public spaces clean, with helping the most vulnerable among us, and with being near our bedsides when we died. Lauren, tell me, this was your third book. What was your mission in writing this book?
Well, I think that, women's stories so often get overlooked. We get left behind. And I didn't want that to happen with the pandemic, especially because women have lost the most, but we've also led us through these extraordinary times. And I think we need to remember these stories for years to come, and we need to highlight them.
What kind of folks did you interview for the book?
So many women. I spoke to over 50 women from long-haul truckers who are, bringing supplies across the country, to women on the front lines of the medical profession, to essential workers, to mothers, to people who are trying to keep their business, to scientists who are developing vaccines. We're everywhere, and I think we have so many stories to tell.
Well, we have some of those stories that we're going to tell this evening, starting, Birgit, with you. When the pandemic first hit, how did it change your life?
Oh, a lot. So as an immigrant and a social support parent, I actually lacked the social support network to be able to work full time and to look after my 9-year-old daughter. Definitely, and this is the story of so many of us, not just me. I have colleagues that have, toddlers, school-age children at home. Some of them are social support parents. Some of them have spouses that are working. I actually have a colleague that had to quit her job as a nurse right now because she had no support to keep working. Definitely, we are bearing the brunt of this crisis, and it's having a toll on a lot of us.
How much are you able to work these days?
These days, I'm able to work 2 or 3 shifts a week, so it's really challenging. A lot of us are trying to get our voices out there and seek support. Some of us are mothers that are waiting for our spouses to be reunited with us. There are thousands of us out there. A lot of us are frontline workers who are waiting for the Minister of Immigration to prioritize family sponsorship, so at least we can have the support we need to work.
The waiting for your spouse, that's your situation, right? Your husband's in Nigeria?
That's correct.
What are the prospects of getting him over here?
Oh, well, right now it's more of a waiting game. We've been told that COVID has put a stop on so many of the applications, but we know that international students are being prioritized right now because that's the situation. A lot of us are Canadians waiting for our spouses, and we're not really getting updates, unfortunately.
Okay, thanks for that. Kalisha, how has the pandemic affected your family?
Oh, it's affected us greatly. I have 2 young boys, so with them having to be homeschooled, it just changed the whole dynamic of what I'm used to, sending them to school. I had to rely on my in-laws, and they're a bit older, so it also just it was very hard on me because being a frontline worker and seeing so many people every day, it just made me very nervous that the things I can possibly bring back to my family, right? So it was very hard.
You're a grocery store manager, yes?
I am.
So you're considered an A1 frontline, real important essential worker at a time like this. How's that feel?
I am. It feels good. It feels good, but it's one of those things that kind of makes us feel like, I've been doing this job for almost 15 years now. So, to be acknowledged as a frontline worker now is great, but, we've always been doing the same job and we've always been the backbone to this community.
Funny how we kind of know that now in a way we didn't know that before, eh?
100%.
100%. Okay, Amanda, let's bring you in. How's this all been for you?
Yeah, it's a 1, 2, 3, 20 punch. I'm a mother of 2 kids. My kids are 6 and 4, and I own a small business, ironically, that helps working parents access flexible childcare when they can't work from home. I've been closed since, we were shut down in the first wave of the pandemic in March 2020. We reopened in July. I'm in East Toronto. We were then ordered closed by the Toronto Public Health in November as part of a gray lockdown, and we haven't been allowed to reopen since. So I haven't been allowed to make $1 of revenue in months and months. I had 9 staff. I laid everybody but 2 teachers off. I've been trying to figure out the wage subsidy versus the emergency benefits for myself. And my 2 kids are currently around the corner online learning at home.
So you're not at home right now?
I am at home. Like, by around the corner, I literally mean over my shoulder.
I see. Okay. Well, if they want to make a cameo at some point, that's okay. Yeah, we've had lots of kids, pets, parents, anyway, lots of different kinds of cameos on this program over the last year. Tell me, how easy or difficult has it been for you to navigate all of the supports that the various levels of government have put in place during the course of the pandemic?
I have put out a public petition that small business owners should be awarded MBAs for the level of navigation on financial modeling, predictions. I don't want anyone to say the word pivot to me one more time. There's so many complicated factors in terms of I have to keep the business alive. I run a brick and mortar space, which means my fixed costs are consistent regardless of whether or not I'm open. Rent is still rent. Hydro is still hydro. Figuring out how I'm going to pay the top-ups from a wage subsidy that's 75%, I still owe the 25%. The rent subsidy, we're getting 90% now in lockdown, but that means there's a 10% delta. Trying to figure out how to do the right thing, when to apply. I would say the 2 things I focus on in addition to parenting full-time is applying for subsidies, paying the bills with the subsidies, and then figuring out how do I expand the business to survive this, and what does recovery look like.
We'll get to that later. Lauren, you've now heard 3 other stories in addition to the 50+ you had in your book. How typical are the ones we're just hearing tonight?
I think it is important to remember that women have had such a diverse range of experiences. That said, the struggles that we just heard about and the challenges, those are extraordinarily common. I don't think, no one has had an easy time during the pandemic, but mothers especially have faced just, 10 times more challenges, 20 times more challenges than others.
And even in a home where there are 2 presumably equal co-parents, you still find it's the mothers who bear a disproportionate part of the responsibility. You are hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, that hasn't changed over the pandemic. And in fact, I think, the pandemic has only exacerbated it. A study just came out of Canadian working parents, and we know that 12 times as many mothers as fathers have had to leave their jobs to care for their school-aged children. Mm-hmm. So I think, that says right there that even in the homes that have the most maybe equal intents or intents to be equal, it's not what's happened. We're trying to roll back something that has existed for a really long time.
Yep. Birgit, let me get you back in here, and I really want to tap into your knowledge of the front lines in healthcare because of your work as a nurse. We hear the science table, the briefings from the Premier, the briefings from the healthcare experts. We hear that ICUs are at the bursting point right now. What's your personal experience on that front?
That's correct. So I think the media doesn't even do justice to what we're experiencing. We know that a lot of nurses, majority are women, and majority are juggling, homeschooling. I don't know how we're actually doing it, and are also going to work in ICU. So we're all stressed. It's so challenging to be in the ICU right now. We are watching patients die alone, trying to facilitate video calls with families and loved ones as much as we can, with all the technical difficulties as well. I have colleagues that are quitting. I have colleagues that are breaking down and actually not knowing what to do. We've also heard of stories of, unfortunately, nurses who took their lives during this pandemic. There's a heightened level of stress and trauma, and now we're talking about possible triage protocol where doctors, nurses, artists, will have to witness a decision of who gets to live and who gets to die. Um, I don't, I don't know how we're going to get through that. A lot of us are going to need therapists to really go through that.
Well, Birgit, even in the midst of that very thorough and heartbreaking answer, you did not tell us one detail. You got COVID-19, yes?
Yes, I have said this so many times. Unfortunately, last year, at first I had to isolate because I was exposed to a patient that eventually came back positive for COVID. So that was okay. And then in October, I got COVID myself and I had to isolate. And this was without pay because, as we know, CERB or CRSB is not paid sick days, so totally different. So I did not qualify for CERB, and then CRSB we know is $450, and that doesn't do anything, and that's not paid sick days. Absolutely not. So even the struggle of coming home to my daughter, she was crying. It was so traumatic for her. She thought I was going to die. I had to tell her, we will get through this, and we just had to cope and manage.
Who took care of your daughter while you were sick?
I did.
You did.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, you made it through the COVID-19, which is great, but how badly did it sort of knock you on your back?
It took me a while to, gain my strength and my energy level just to be able to go back to work because I have to work. I have to put food on the table. This is why we're saying that people will continue to go to work sick, unfortunately, because a lot of people are the breadwinners of their families. As long as we don't have paid sick days, it takes a lot for someone to really sit back at home when they know they will have no income and the entire family will suffer. So yeah, it was a struggle getting my feet back and actually going back to work, even when I recovered.
Well, we're glad you did recover, obviously, and I'm glad that things have worked out with you and your daughter. That's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Kalisha, let me get you back in here. The changes that you've had to make in the workplace in order to adapt to the new realities of COVID-19, what's that been like?
Oh, it's been pretty hard. It's constantly overthinking everything that we're doing. If we're putting through a customer and then we're on to the next customer, okay, did I wipe off the debit machine? Did I wipe off the belt? So it's just constantly second guessing things I used to be able to do, like eat my lunch while I do something else at the same time. I can't do anymore. Like my hands literally are cracking by the end of the day with the amount of sanitizer I have to use. So it's just, I think more so than anything, it's the overthinking it. Like you're constant, like you touch your face and you're like, oh, did I sanitize my hand before I did that? So it's the overthinking, I think, that's getting to the most of us.
How understanding have your customers been?
I think most are pretty understanding and pretty nice. I definitely find a lot more customers being a lot more grateful for our service. You hear definitely a lot more thank yous, even just simply walking by them in the store. They'll be like, thank you for coming in. Thank you for all that you're doing. So it has been very nice to see that the customers really are acknowledging the fact that we're coming and we're leaving our families every day to do this job. Yeah, definitely.
Any employees at your place get COVID-19?
Yeah, we have had a few cases in my store.
And what happens?
They're off for a couple of weeks, then again, without paid sick days, unfortunately. And again, it's, as she said before too, like it's a lot of people, it's hard for them to stay home. It's hard for me to stay home. My income is very important in my household. So it's hard for us to stay home. If you have a symptom and you're kind of wondering, maybe it's just a cold, maybe I don't think it's COVID. So like you see people come in with coughs and stuff sometimes, and it's like, oh no, it's allergies. So definitely the paid sick days is so important to us.
Have you had to say to anybody, you don't sound too healthy right now, I'm sending you home?
Oh, definitely.
You've done that
a couple of times, yeah. Mm-hmm. And even just like for interviews, like trying to bring in some people, because we don't have a lot of daytime staff. A lot of daytime staff is normally older women, and older women don't want to work in a grocery store right now, which is understandable. So even just interviewing last week, there was someone I was speaking to, and she had a cough, and I'm like, we'll speak in 2 weeks. It's okay. So.
Amanda, let me get you back in here. How was business at the Workaround before the pandemic kicked in?
We opened in the fall of 2018 and we closed in March 2020. So we were open only about 18 months, and I had served 846 families, 220 plus unique children. It was a profitable flex daytime childcare and co-working business when I was planning on opening new locations in 2020, actually.
What prospects do you think you have for getting the business open, and when?
It's really hard in Ontario and in Toronto in particular right now. I'm an indoor shared space with shared washrooms, shared kitchen facilities, and at the same time, daycare, which is so critically important for working parents. And so I'm optimistic by the federal budget childcare funding that gives me some hope that the business has some really amazing growth opportunities in the future. In the short term, I think we're going to be closed for a little while still. And, I echo Kalisha, like the number of bleaching we did and disinfecting and cleaning and spraying down door handles. I mean, I have 13,000 square feet and I laid all my staff off. It was me who was doing all of that. I just want to get back to doing that and serving as many families as soon as we can.
We hope you get that chance. Lauren, that's a woman-owned business that we've just heard from there. How did the pandemic, broadly speaking, affect female-owned businesses overall?
Well, I think we're seeing a trend here, and that is that women have suffered more, and that certainly has been the case for women-owned businesses. They've faced higher challenges, partly because of the sectors that women entrepreneurs are more likely to, build a business in, which is hospitality, care, things that businesses that have borne the brunt of the closures. So I think, it's across the board. We're seeing not only women employees, but certainly women entrepreneurs lose out.
Lauren, follow up with this if you would, because I know it cannot have escaped the attention of any of the people on this program tonight that Chrystia Freeland, the finance minister, announced yesterday a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar childcare program, with the idea being eventually to get to a $10 a day per child program. Imagine that program in place, Lauren. What kind of a game changer is it?
I think it's a huge game changer. It has the potential to be a huge game changer. Affordable childcare is something that women have been lobbying for decades. As I've said before, the pandemic hasn't created these problems, but it has exposed them and it's made them undeniable. And I think it's very undeniable now that we need affordable childcare. At the same time, women have to have jobs to return to. And we have to remember that as well. Childcare is only one piece of the puzzle to help women to get them back to work.
Indeed. Birgit, how much of a challenge has childcare been for you?
Oh, a lot. I've had to use babysitters as opposed to registering my daughter in a childcare center because I couldn't afford it, right? So, and I've lost income a lot of times because when my babysitter calls in sick, I have to stay home with my daughter. So yeah, it's an ongoing issue for me and for many of us on the front line. Now, women are greatly affected by this. Yeah.
Right. I think you mentioned earlier you're down to 2 shifts a week now because of the whole situation you're in now. Can you make ends meet on 2 shifts a week?
I can barely survive. I can barely just pay my bills, and that's about it.
So how are you doing it?
I don't know, 2 shifts a week, credit cards, right? It's a cycle.
So you are taking on additional debt right now.
Absolutely.
And when the babysitters come in, different babysitters dealing with your children, I presume you find that a less valuable, less effective option than if they had quality, consistent, daily childcare.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah.
The child wants consistency too. They need it.
For sure. Amanda, with women often taking on uneven amounts of childcare and housework, how did the pandemic, in your view, affect all of that?
You know, we need to recognize that work has changed, and without childcare, we cannot get women back to the workforce. Look at the women on this panel. Full-time, Monday to Friday, center-based care is not going to serve the Saturday night grocery store worker, the ICU nurses who need overnight care, the entrepreneurs who I serve who might have a freelance graphic design contract for a few months but can't possibly commit to a full year. I think what I'm hopeful about with the childcare announcement is we recognize that we need to fund childcare. The next step is to recognize that the types of childcare that Canadians need is far more diverse than what's available right now. And that means we need to work with private daycare providers like myself, small business owners. We need to engage with a whole range of diverse stakeholders in order to offer more care instead of trying to fix a broken system.
That's a great controversial issue. You just opened up a can of worms on there, and that's okay, but
Could
that's
be a whole
another show. Yes, indeed. It has been in the past, and I'm sure it will be again. Kalisha, when you've got to be at work and the schools are closed, what's happening with your kids?
Right now, I'm very grateful for my in-laws because they're retired, so I actually get a lot of help with them. But it's definitely difficult. It's definitely a matter of asking for help, especially when it comes to the weekends, because I definitely still have to work weekends. So it's definitely just a matter of family and friends and whoever can help out that's close to me. I right now I'm not comfortable even sending my kids to daycares, just knowing how my children are. They're still young, and I wouldn't trust them to be safe enough, I guess, in sanitizing. So for me, it's just relying on close family. And if not, then again, it's me calling into work because my kids come first.
The kids are how old?
I have a 10-year-old and one that's about to be 2.
10 and about to be 2. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
And oh, boy, your in-laws are not going to like my asking this question, but tough luck. How old are they?
Oh, like one of them is in their early 70s and the other one's the late 60s.
Okay, how do they keep up with a 10-year-old and an almost 2-year-old?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like every day it's different complaints or different issues or the talking back from the older one or just too much energy from the younger one. So it's always like a juggling match and, trying to balance their sanity and try and give them a couple days off if I can. Like I'll use my other grandmother and she's again early 70s too. So I'm just relying on all the older people in my family right now that are retired.
And Amanda, let me just ask you a quick question about online learning. How's that working out for you?
I would pull my kids today. I consider it every day. Listen, like my son is 4. He's in junior kindergarten. He's expected to sit in front of a laptop and navigate tabs and switching between a video to a group chat to mute to unmute. I mean, the number of times he's just going to shut the screen and walked away. And I'm on the middle of a call like this. There's nothing I can do about it. I find for working women in particular, like me, who's home alone with my children all day, trying to keep my business alive, the expectations on us to sit beside our kids, guide them in their learning, support their emotional and social development, keep them fed. They constantly keep needing to be fed every day. I mean,
yeah, they're like that, aren't they?
They keep wanting more meals. I really can't wait to get back to some version of normal, one that better supports women.
Kalisha, how about you for the online learning and your kids?
Oh gosh, it's definitely been such a challenge in my household. It's hard for me to come in from work, and I also commute, so I'm coming like an hour out of my way to go to work to and from. So by the time I come home in the evening to double check all the assignments that haven't been turned in, and then you ask the question, and oh, we didn't have to turn it in, we just had to show it. So it's so hard to be on top of their schoolwork and going to work. And even when I had the time off and I was home with them at the beginning with this, it was still just such a challenge for me because we're almost like supply teachers without the pay.
Right. Lauren, let me ask you to wrap it up for us and put a bow on it. We've heard this expression so many times, build back better. And as we consider how to rebuild our society better, that takes into account some of these realities we've been talking about tonight, what does that look like to you?
You know, I've been writing and reporting on women's issues and women's challenges for my whole career. And I think, it's this idea of returning to normal. I don't like it because I would like us to envision a way to build better and to build a blueprint that puts women first and puts our most vulnerable first. And I think that the pandemic has only underscored how essential it is that we do that going forward if we want a society in which women succeed. And, why wouldn't we?
Well said. Lauren McKeon, Amanda Monday, Kalisha Hoyes, Birgit Omagba. It is really good of you to spend some time with us tonight and just peel back the curtain a bit and give us a greater understanding of what's been going on in your lives for the last 14 months. Godspeed to all of you and good luck going forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.